We are less than 48 hours away from kickoff. That's right, Terps fans. Pack up the suitcase, get the snack. We're heading up the road to Wisconsin, Madison, Wisconsin, to face Big Ten rival, the Wisconsin Badgers head coach Luke Fickle, who could be on Fickle standing with Wisconsin, coming off of a loss in Tuscaloosa to Alabama. Maryland football looking to improve to 4-0. First road game of the season, first Big Ten conference game of the season, first road test for five-star Malik Washington, the standout quarterback. Make sure you sack that subscribe button, tackle that thumbs up, and make sure you blitz that bell. Sound off down below. Let me know your thoughts on this game, predictions, keys to the game, players who could be under the radar, X factors. What are you looking forward to? Let's discuss it in the comment section down below. Let me know your thoughts. Helps us out tremendously in the algorithm when you subscribe and you hit that thumbs up and you comment down below. Leave an emoji, leave a turtle emoji. It helps us out tremendously. Let's get into it today here on the Flex Zone podcast. As we can see, it will be a beautiful day in Madison, Wisconsin. We're looking at 69 degrees. Now, there are, looks like, chances of scattered showers. I don't see any thunder, so I don't think we're looking at anything that's going to inevitably delay the game. This is a 12 p.m. kickoff on NBC. That's right. And like in late September for Madison, Wisconsin. We know how it can get in the winter there. So 69 degrees looks like I said, partly cloudy with a chance of rain. So that could play an impact into the game depending on the level of rain. But it is on NBC and streaming on Peacock. Now, Maryland will continue its 2025 season with its Big Ten opener on the road this Saturday, September 20th at noon in Madison, Wisconsin. Live coverage on NBC and the Maryland Sports Radio Network 1057, and you can stream it on Peacock. Maryland extended its winning streak against non-conference opponents to 18 games, the longest active streak in the nation, a dominant 44-17 win over Towson. Honestly, if they would have played their starters the second half, major minutes, they would have probably put up 60 plus on Towson. So they did what they were supposed to do. They did what they were supposed to do against Florida Atlantic, Northern Illinois, and I think they are ready to potentially take the next step in their maturing process. As you can see, it starts out as a 44 and a half over under, 9.5 point spread for the Terps. Right then and there, I'm taking the Terps to cover. That's basically saying Wisconsin's 10 points better than the Terps, which I don't think it is. Now, the Terps are 3-0 to start the season for the fourth time in the last 5 years. Second in the country for most 3-0 starts since 2021. Trailing Georgia, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, Penn State, Rutgers, and 5 are tied with Ohio State and Oregon. Maryland has scored 30 points in the first half twice this season, 34 versus Towson and 33 versus Florida Atlantic. First time since 2019. 56 against Howard and 42 against Syracuse. Defensively, Maryland has just given up 33 total points, the fewest through 3 games since 2001. Two of the teams in the Big Ten, only 2 teams, to not allow a score in the opening possession of the first and second half. Penn State is the other. Now, Maryland against Towson scored on its first 6 offensive drives, forced 3 consecutive 3-and-outs on defense to open the game. 34 points versus Towson was their most in the first half since 2022, where they scored 35 against Charlotte. Maryland and Wisconsin are meeting for the 5th time. The Badgers are ahead 4-0. So this allows me to know right there, I'm picking Maryland. The Maryland Terps have rushed for at least 100 yards in each of their last 3 games against Wisconsin, tied for the second longest active streak against a conference opponent. They last faced in 2022, in Madison, where Wisconsin claimed a 23-10 win. Malik Washington leads all FBS true freshmen with 773 passing yards, 6 touchdowns through 3 games. Third Maryland quarterback in the last 30 seasons to do that, joining C.J. Brown in 2013 and Talia Tagovailoa in 2021. Most by a true freshman through 3 career games in a power conference since 2018. Now, it's crazy to think about how good Malik Washington already is. And I think he's going to be the key to a victory on Saturday afternoon. Now, the defensive dominance is doing great. They're 20th nationally, allowing just they only allow 11 points per game. Second nationally, tied for a +6 turnover margin, and first in turnover gained with 8. Now, I think the turnover battle is going to be key to this game. I think these are two evenly matched teams when you look at the defenses, when you look at the run game, when you look at obviously the edge and quarterback goes to Malik Washington. I think the Terps have a better quarterback and a better defense. So I think that could lead them to a win here. But they're second in red zone defense, trailing Ohio State 42.9% of the time and only 2 touchdowns as well. 7 interceptions, most in the FBS. Only 4 Big Ten teams have led the FBS in defensive interceptions over the last 30 seasons. Illinois in 2022, 2021 Iowa, and 2017 Iowa. Lakai Rowland had a 100-yard pick six, which was the highlight in the win over Towson, the longest interception return for a touchdown by any Maryland over the last 60 seasons. Tom Brown did it in 1962 as well. Now, Maryland is 10th also and second in the Big Ten in sacks with 10, tied with Illinois. Sidney Stewart tied for second in the Big Ten and 14th with 3 sacks so far as well. He leads the Big Ten and 9th nationally in tackles for loss this game as well. Shalik Knox had a career high 79 receiving yards. First Maryland receiver since 2024, Ty Felton, to catch a touchdown in 3 consecutive games. Jalil Farouk surpassed 100 reception mark and now has 103 on his career. Octavian Smith Jr. posted a career high 103 receiving yards as well. When they use their receivers and they spread the ball around, and guys like Octavian Smith Jr. doing their thing, Farouk, Knox, anytime you're in a conversation or a category with Ty Felton, it is a great thing. So that is great to see. The receivers, 501 yards, most of any senior class in the Big Ten as well. They did run the ball, which is the key, I think, for them for a season high 152 yards in his last game against Towson. Nolan Ray, DeJuan Williams, and Malik Washington each had a rushing touchdown as well. Last time that happened was against Villanova on September 21st, 2024. Third career touchdown for Ray, second for Williams, and first for Washington. Iverson Howard, true freshman, led the team with 15 carries and 60 yards. Now, I do want to see if they possibly use Mr. Iverson a little more as the season progresses. Iverson Howard, he's a freshman, so he's going to be here hopefully with Malik Washington and others to really help steer this program in the right direction. Now, injury-wise, it's going to be intriguing to see because we are expecting the return of a former Terp at quarterback now at Wisconsin, the one, the only Billy Edwards, potentially. Yes, Billy Edwards looks to be on track to start this coming Saturday. I think he will return. Mr. O'Neal, the current quarterback for the Badgers, 46 of 63, 5 touchdowns, but 4 interceptions. Jones, the running back, 29 carries for 1 touchdown. That's kind of a running back factory up there. And Ballard, the wide receiver, 6 receptions, but 2 of them for touchdown. He had a touchdown last week against Alabama as well. You see it there, the turnover margin for the Terps. I think that is going to be the key along with their red zone defense. Now, no major injuries going into this game, but it's going to be intriguing to see. Billy Edwards had an ankle injury, and we know he can move. We know he can run, so that adds another dimension to the running game. You have to account for him as a runner and a thrower. RPOs, obviously, him being able to take off and run if you're in man coverage, which the Terps do a lot of. And if there's not a spy on him, he can break contain. If you got your back to him, he can get 10 or 15 yards down the field. And even with a little read option as well, he can do some read option. He can do some option stuff. So we know Wisconsin wants to run the football. And I think Maryland also wants to run the football. And you heard each time Maryland has played them, they've rushed for over 100 yards. And I think that's going to be one of the keys in this game. Now let's get to the actual keys of the game because that is what I'm looking really forward to. First, for offense, I think you cannot turn the ball over. I talked about the turnover margin. This game is going to come down to what team turns it over and what team does not. Whoever wins the turnover battle, this isn't breaking any type of news, will win this game. No turnovers. Freshman quarterback on the road, a lot of young players on the road, no turnovers. Next, you cannot have a lot of self-inflicted. You get less than, let's do 5 penalties or less. 5 penalties or less would be very, very good for this team on the road. I think last week, let me look up what they did last week penalties-wise, because I know the first week was a terrible, terrible, terrible thing. And I believe I'm gonna look up Towson right now. I believe they didn't have that many. I don't remember off the top of my head, but they had 8. So that was not the 8. So that's not good. They went up to 8. That sucks. But yeah, 5 or less. Let's get 5 or less penalties. That will be ideal. If we can get 5 or less penalties, I think they will be in control potentially of this game. They're not giving Maryland any credit. They got a percent chance to win. Money on the Terps to cover. And 44 and a half, I'm feeling and Terps to cover. That I do think that you got to look at the Terps to cover and possibly a defensive game. Maybe the first team of 20 can win this football game. But like I said, no turnovers, 5 penalties or less, rush for over 100 yards. I'd like to see all 3 running backs used. Iverson Howard, Nolan Ray, and Dewan Williams. I love to see all 3 used in some capacity. And I think that would go a long way. Next, offensive line, no sacks. They have a really good linebacker by the name of Mr. Allegero, 2 sacks and 12 tackles. Don't let him wreck this game. No sacks. Protect Malik Washington, which you've done a great job of all season early on. I don't think you've really given up many sacks, if any. Lastly, for the offense, Malik Washington. Continue to spread the ball around. I like seeing 5, 6 guys catch the ball, but use your legs when needed. We saw him run for the touchdown last week. Let's see him use his legs a little more. I don't think teams are accounting for his ability to move with the football in his hands. Use your legs if the opportunity presents itself, because this is going to be a game where every yard matters. Defensively, make them one-dimensional. We know they want to run the ball, but I would like Wisconsin to throw the ball over 40, 45 times. Maybe play from behind, maybe have to spread the ball and make Billy Edwards throw from the pocket consistently. I think that was his biggest knock. He was solid on his ability to be athletic and mobile, and you got to account for him as a runner. Make them one-dimensional. You have to make them one-dimensional. Take away that run game. Don't let Jones get over 70, 80 yards. Do what you've been doing on defense. Be dominant. Be aggressive. Be fast. Swarm to the ball. Tackle well, which is my next key. Tackle well / keep Billy Edwards in the pocket. Don't let him move around. Don't let him get comfortable. Don't let him get outside of the contain. Keep him in the pocket and force him to make tight throws in press man coverage. And you're going to bring pressure. So I think they will be able to get some pressure on him. Get off the field on 3rd down. We know Wisconsin has struggled this year on 3rd down, staying on the field. The Terps have done a really good job getting off the field with a lot of 3 and outs. Get off the field on 3rd down. Don't let them extend drives. Don't let that crowd get loud, and don't let the momentum shift to them, because that's going to be a key part we have to account for. How do this freshman class, this young team, which you really don't know who they are yet, playing competition to level up, how do they handle the environment, the pressure, the noise? So that is going to be something there. We're going to have 50, 60,000 screaming fans. Next, limit them to field goals in the red zone. The Terps have been really good in the red zone. Limit them to field goals, and let's see what happens. You could block a kick. They can miss it. So don't give up on that as well. And lastly, defensively, force multiple turnovers. I mentioned the turnover margin, the interceptions they've been doing. Hey, maybe you get a strip sack. Maybe you force a fumble. Maybe you get some interceptions. You tip a ball up and someone catches it. If they can force maybe 2 or more turnovers, I think they will be in solid shape to potentially win this game. Now, special teams, we always got to talk about special teams here. Make your kicks and PAT. Sean O'Hare, you've been doing a great job of that. Continue to do so. Every point is going to be crucial, as is every yard. Use punts for field position. Mr. McPherson, do your thing. Pin them deep. A punt isn't a bad thing in a game like this. Use it to switch field position, pin them inside the 20, pin them inside the 15 or the 10, pin them inside the 5. Make them consistently have to go 70, 80 yards against this Terps defense. I think the Terps defense will win out more than the Wisconsin offense. And allow no big returns. In a game like this, field position is going to be a big part of it. Momentum, like I said, the crowd. You have to allow them to tackle well on these returns. No big returns. Don't let them get past the 30, 35-yard line. If you got to, hey, kick a touchback. On the punt coverage, tackle well, which I think Maryland special teams, along with their defense, has been one of the best aspects of this team. And they always say, when you're on the road in the game of football, you pack your defense and your special teams, and you have a chance. And I'd even throw into that your running game as well, because if you can run the football, control the clock, let's see if Maryland can win time of possession. Maybe that's something also that could help them win this game. Limit Wisconsin's possessions, keep them on the sideline, allow your defense to be fresh and rested, take time off the clock running the ball, and allow opportunities for Malik Washington to dominate in man coverage. Make it easy for him. Make it simple for him. Like I said, I was going to say start fast, but a game like this could be a filling out process. It could be that knockdown, drag him out, bully ball, boxing match where we really don't have a decisive answer until we get to the third or fourth quarter of who really has control of this game. This could be a game that comes down to the last possession, which team makes that mistake and which team can capitalize off of that mistake to get the win. Now, I am going with Maryland. I picked them to cover. I picked them to win this game as I did my schedule prediction because I had them getting six. This was one of the six with a 3-0 start. This could be a statement win, a big road win, a road statement win, and it could really bring you only 2 games away from clinching bowl eligibility, something a lot of Terps fans didn't know was a possibility this season. You get to 4 wins here, you only need 2 more, and you got what? After today, 8 more games. So there's a good chance you probably will be bowl eligible. You still have some winnable games. I think Washington, UCLA, Rutgers. Now, the Terps aren't going to win every game they're supposed to. No team usually does. It happens, especially in the game of football where any given Saturday or Sunday, anyone can beat anyone. But if you can win this game, think about the confidence, think about the momentum, think about the overall just belief that this will have in this team. And if Mike Locksley coaches a hell of a game, Pep Hamilton, Tom Monachino, they do their job, these guys are going to believe in them even more and play even harder and really push them where they need to be as coaches, and they're going to go out there and perform and make them look even better of the game plans that they implement. So I'm going with the Terps to get the win. I think they cover. I'm going with the under. Like I said, it's over under, what is it, 45 points. I think it's a 20-17, 23-20 Terps win. I think it's a 3-point game. I think Terps kick the game-winning field goal. Sean O'Hare on the game-winning kick, and I think they win by. I'm looking for, like I said, Wingate, 28 tackles, a beast. Stewart, 3 sacks, a beast. The defensive backs have been airtight on the receivers of opposing teams like a Ziploc bag. So I expect to see more of that. I look for Stewart to dominate. I look for Wingate to tackle well. That's why I say these things, because those are guys I think every game are going to bring their A game and going to be guys you have to stay up for at night and scheme against as an offense. I don't think this Wisconsin team is as good as it's been in years past. Now, they do have a good defense. That's why I said it's going to be a 3-point swing. Whichever team can maybe force that turnover, force that mistake, and whichever team can capitalize on it, I really, really think there is a good chance for that team to win. Would it shock me if Wisconsin won? No, because the Terps would go out here and lay an egg. That's something we have to. I don't think there's a chance we get that, but I think this Terps team's ready to turn the corner. I think 9.5 is really motivating. I think, like I said, 23-20, 20-17. I think first team to 20 wins. But the Terps have some explosiveness offensively with the receivers and the tight ends. If they can just find a running game and make Wisconsin have to account for it, I think there will be some opportunity to get to those playmakers on the outside. And we know they love to spread the ball around. So don't turn the ball over, Malik. Use your legs when you can. Offensive line, keep them upright. Defensively, keep doing what you're doing. I'd be hard-pressed to say that this team's going to put up more than 20 points. And they're really good in the red zone, are the Terps, and on third down. 2 keys that I really, really like with defense, especially when you're only giving up 11 points a game. So if you're a defense giving up 20 or less, 15 or less, and you're getting off the field on third down and you're getting stops in the red zone, you will be a solid defense. And then just don't break. I'm going with the Terps. I'm going to say 20-17 or 23-20. I think the Terps get the road win. They get to 4-0 before they return home after a bye week against Washington, which I think is a winnable game after the season also. But Terps get to 4-0. This will be a big win. This will put a lot of people on notice and really help Malik Washington, Mike Locksley, and the rest of this team get into that national conversation of, this Terps team ain't going to be an easy walk in the park. And they have some tough games. They're not going to go undefeated. We're going to have some days where we're upset and pissed off coming into previewing and recapping these games. But lighter schedule in years, chance to get that statement win on the road and really establish yourself in Big Ten early on this season. I'm going with Maryland to get the 20-17 or 23-20 win. I think they get the crucial turnover on defense, and they get the crucial play on offense to set up special teams execution, and they win it on a game-winning go-ahead or game-winning walk-off field goal. God's favorite host. We'll recap the game later. We got a busy day Saturday, so you may not get my live thoughts and reactions until maybe Sunday or Monday. We will recap the game. We'll go into the bye week, preview everything so far, and get ready for Washington. It's going to be fun. Noon, NBC, Peacock. Check us out. We'll be live throughout the week and throughout the season covering the Terps. So let me know what you look forward to and what you want to see with this team moving forward. Right here on the Flex Zone Podcast, your home for Maryland Terps football coverage. TV Sports, how you want it when you need it. If you made it this far, leave a comment, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell. I'm going with Maryland to get to 4-0 and send Wisconsin to 2-2, getting their first Big Ten win of the season. It's the Flex Zone Podcast. We got great content each and every day for you in Maryland as well. Go Terps. Let's see if they can get 4-0 and get a big state